In this video, we're going to look at how to use a few simple tools in Google Slides to create your own customized digital collaborative noteboards. Open a new Google slideshow. Notice that the slide size is currently set to widescreen. This is the default in Google Slides. Think about what you want your digital noteboard to look like. Do you want to keep it like this in landscape or switch it over to portrait? Maybe you want it to be a square or even look like a piece of paper. To change it, we'll go to the File menu and choose Page Setup. Here, you can choose to keep it as widescreen or switch it over to standard, which is a more traditional projector type of size. In this example, we're going to customize our slide size and make it an 8.5 by 11 and choose OK. You can see that it flipped my page to a portrait layout, and I have some space on either side of my slide that I can kind of see. Now you're ready to start creating your own custom templates. If we placed objects like text, images, or shapes directly on the slide, they would be editable by anyone with editing rights. So if we plan to share this presentation with our students so they can collaborate, we want to lock certain objects on the slide so that they cannot be accidentally changed or accidentally deleted. To do that, we are going to use the Master Slide Editor. From the View menu, choose Master. Now you can see all of the slide layouts available to you. Typically, I delete all of these and just create new ones, but you could also edit any of these existing templates. To delete, just right-click on any of the slide layouts and choose Delete Layout. It won't let you delete all of them because you always have to have at least one layout to be working with. To begin editing a layout, right-click on it and choose Rename. I'm going to call this one our Wonder Wall. Then I'm going to get rid of anything that's existing on that slide layout so I have a blank canvas to work with. You could either do a marquee drag just by clicking out here to the side and dragging over to select everything, or you can choose Control-A to select all. Then click your Delete key to delete all of the items on that slide. Now you're ready to start putting content onto your master slide template. So you use either word art or text boxes to put things like titles and directions. I'm going to use a word art for my title, and again I'm going to call it my Wonder Wall. I'll move it to the top or to the bottom, the side, wherever you want the title to be. You can change your font type, your fill color, line color, anything like that. Also, resize it so that it takes up the exact amount of space that you want and looks exactly like you want it to look. You could continue editing this slide by changing the background, adding shapes, pictures, lines, anything like that. You can also put some directions on the slide as well. But the beauty of using slides is that you can also use the off-canvas space for things like directions. So I'm going to insert a text box to the area either to the left or the right of my slide and write directions for my students. This is partially why I made my slide portrait so that I would have plenty of room on one of the sides to add directions or tools that I want my students to use. So my directions for my students are going to be to go to the Insert menu and choose Table. Choose a 1-by-1 table and draw in the space on the page. Then tell me about something that you wonder. Sorry, you had to listen to me read that to you. Again, you can change your font type. You can make it a little bit bigger if you want it a little bit easier for those kiddos to read. Resize that text box, really put it wherever you want. So when you're done editing the master slide, and keep in mind, you can always come back and add to it. Simply click your slide sorter area over here. So now that I'm back in my normal editing view, I can see that slide that I was messing with earlier is still there. If I wanted to insert a new slide, I can see that that template that I created called Wonder Wall with Wonder Wall at the top is now part of my theme. So if I click on that new slide, I can see that it inserts my Wonder Wall slide with the directions on the side that I wrote for my students. I could try to click on any of these, and none of those things are editable by me right now or by my students. So my students could then follow these directions by going to the Insert menu and choosing Table and choosing a 1-by-1 table. And then they could draw that or put it wherever they want and begin typing their I wonder statement. They could move those around, and this becomes collaborative because multiple students could be on this one slide, entering all of their I wonders or their their KWLs or whatever it is that you're working on. I choose to do things with tables because they are a little bit easier to work with, but students could just as easily draw themselves a text box. And then if this one filled up, we could just very easily go up here and choose a new slide and have a second wonder wall where we could continue to put more and more text boxes or even pictures or shapes or anything like that. So you may also want to use this as a place for students to share images that they find online or pictures of their own work. So I've created another master slide template in that master slide editor called Show Your Work. And I've inserted that here as a new slide. It says to use the camera on your Chromebook or any computer to take a picture of your work and add it here. So I'm going to choose the image icon, and students could upload a picture they already have saved. They could search the web, they could pull from their drive, or they can just take a picture using the camera on their device. It opens the camera. All they have to do is take that picture using that yellow image button and choose insert. And that picture now lives on this slide. They can resize it, move it around, add a text box to put some comments on there, or you could just have a nice big collage of student images of student work. Again, you could add more of those slides if you needed more space for kids to work. You could end up with like lots of images on these slides. So I hope that this is something that you could use with your students. I know this is a long video, so thanks for sticking it out until the end. I've created some templates with different things that you could use and edit, some sticky notes kids can write on and drag onto the slide to add comments, lots of things that you can use right away or edit to make your own, and I'll make sure those get linked into the video. So I hope this was useful and it's something that you could see using with your kids. Thanks so much.